I just enjoyed an interview with Joe Morton on The Daily Show. And one of the things that they talked about was how we really don't know, we as people everywhere really don't know how to talk about racism. But something that I'm learning right now is to fail fast and to figure it out. And so here's me talking about my experiences with racism. In my family, I grew up learning about, or I learned at one point about the War of Northern Aggression. You might know it as the Civil War. I learned that later. But that was the war to preserve the Union and to end slavery, to end the institution of slavery. So you can imagine that in my family there were some racist things that were taught that I have still running through my head, and I have to meet and greet and deal with. Because as it turns out, humans are humans, no matter how much melanin they have, or how little bit. While the institution of slavery has ended, or has been made illegal, there are, however, laws that are made by those who show up, and those who show up often only have a little bit of melanin, a little bit of color to their skin. And so there are some legal loopholes, which I guess one example could be zoning. So zoning is when a city says what kind of buildings, be it hospitals or schools or factories, workplaces, can be in certain areas of the city. And so with that you end up having groups, areas where there are different educational opportunities depending on how close or far you are from certain institutions. And in that, then there are different, with your education, then there are different job opportunities, and also the connections that you make. The neighborhoods that you live in, those areas are going to tend to have people that have a similar amount of color in their skin, amount of melanin. So then there's also the social stigmas which have carried through time. I watched a trailer. I haven't watched the movie yet, but I'm excited to see it, called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, with Katharine Hepburn and some other names that I can't remember. But it was filmed in 1967, or released in 1967, and it looks very much like I think that interactions still go today. So that's been not much progress in the last 50 years as far as being able to remember that humans are humans. So those are my experiences, some of my experiences, a brief outline with racism. I would love to hear your experiences, so please share in the comments below.